I felt stuck. You know, you look around and you see your friends all getting good jobs and starting to build their finances and this and that. You know, I felt like I was, you know, looking up, and I'm 25 now, and I'm 26, and then I'm 27, and what did I just do? I wrote a song called The River in St. Simons Island, Georgia, when I was probably 19, 20 years old. That was the first complete. I had a lot of things that I had, you know, had little nuggets all over the place, but that was the first complete tune that I'd written. And I had the songwriting bug long before I even knew that I had it. When I was, you know, 13, 14, 15, riding around in my dad's Silverado with my brothers, you know, listening to those records, those Seeger records, and I was dissecting lyrics from a very young age of just like trying to think about the complexities, the metaphors that plays off of words and how they put the songs together, and I was obsessed with Bob Dylan. You know, early on I was writing, free writing in journals and all those kind of things, and I had my teachers, and I remember my English teacher in the 8th grade, Miss Jones, was like, you really need to maybe think about a career in writing, you know, and she was just, that was just from our journal entries and our free writing in class, and so I just think that, I think I've always had that, it's always been an innate bug inside of me. You know, I didn't really have examples where I was from. Everybody was doing cover band music, everybody in South Georgia, and I don't think I ever thought of music being an option or being like, I just didn't have, I didn't hear about people going out and making it as artists and this and that, and I know that I was writing music all through college, and I think that when I was at a party, I remember being in a party on the big island of Hawaii, and I was playing the song I'd written, and the guy was like, you know, you need to move to Nashville. My buddy moved there, these songs are good. Looking back, they weren't that great, but he was like, you know, you should really pursue this because you got something. And that was kind of the first initial nudge. That guy never said anything of any importance until that night, but it was normally a bunch of jabber after he'd smoked too much weed. But anyways, that night, you know, I got a little bit of a bug, and I've always been fearless in a sense of I will leap out and try something without even giving it a lot of thought. And it wasn't until I got to Nashville that I was like, what did I just do? You know, looking around at how talented everyone was, and then you realize that you got to raise your bar. I think I just, I know that I immersed myself in songwriting unlike I ever had before. I would work all the odd jobs that I had, and I was juggling like 3, and I would come home at night and I'd lay on the floor and I would study records, where I used to just more listen, and it was like I would study Petty, I would study Bruce, I'd study Willie Nelson, and I'd really try to figure out how the structure of songs and how they put things together and rhyme schemes, and really pay attention to melody. And I think it was then, you know, that was my education, was laying on that floor. It was a nightly ritual. It was like my only peace, you know, and I felt stuck. You know, you look around and you see your friends all getting good jobs and starting to build their finances and this and that. You know, I felt like I was, you know, looking up, and I'm 25 now, and I'm 26, and then I'm 27, and here I was still just working those odd jobs and laying on that floor over close to Edmondson Pike, and trying to figure out how to write, and writing constantly. I knew that I had a natural take on melody and lyric. I just didn't quite know how to craft it and put it all together. I think early on I was writing more of what I think I need to say. It was more of because these guys wrote about this, I'm gonna write about this. And I would write about things that weren't really relative to me, but it sounded cool. And it was, you know, I'm singing about things that I don't really know about that well. And I think that once I really started being authentic with myself in my writing, and that's when everything changed.